I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
What's good, we bikers? T-Work here, and welcome to the Workman Experience, where we share the how-tos for Harley Davidson and other motorcycles. Today we ride to the Domain in Austin, Texas. I'll be testing my slow speed riding skills on my Harley Davidson 2022 Road Glide CVO. In addition to using my bike signals, I'll be using non-verbal skills to communicate with the people and the folks in the densely populated area, as well as we drive. And everyone knows as you ride, you have to use non-verbal skills to communicate with other drivers, bikers, just to make sure that there's clarity in what we're planning on doing in terms of our moves. And so one of the first things, as I was just gassing up and heading out, I just think about, well, I see somebody in the rearview mirror, this guy behind me, and he seems to be a little agitated. So awareness is lesson number one, right? We have to be aware of what people are doing. So there we have it. You know that person, the impatient driver. Now apparently I'm not holding up anything. It's the traffic. He wants to go straight, and I'm going to make a left. I didn't see him initially. He just decided to speed up. So there's that awareness of, you gotta know what's going on around you. You gotta have your head on the swivel. So as I was heading out, I said, well, maybe this guy knows a shortcut. So I followed him. Yeah, I did feel a certain kind of way initially, but we are a little more mature now, so we have to kind of be chill. So I did know that, hey, this is the fastest way to kind of get around as opposed to the left turn that I initially wanted to make. So that doesn't stop us. There's many riders out there and drivers that we have to kind of be aware of. So head on a swivel. You have to understand what's going on around you at all times. This was interesting. As I was pulling through, I want to get in my left lane. So it's a little bit difficult, as we all know, dense traffic, so you got to signal. Then you also have to be able to hopefully understand that the driver that you want to move over is aware. So I'm looking at the lady in the van here. She's on her cell phone. Her head is down. I'm surprised so I had to hit my horn in order for her to understand that I'm signaling to her, like, hey, I want to move over. And she looked up from her phone, startled, as if I'm really disturbing her, and say, oh, okay. So these are the life of a rider, right? Things that we have to do. We have to be aware. We have to use non-verbal communication skills all the time, and it just helps us to be able to enjoy our ride a little bit better. So a little bit about the Domain. The Domain is located in North Austin, Texas. It's east of Mopac, right off of Mopac, aka Loop 1. So it's west of the IH-35. This is what they call is in the tech corridor. So it's Austin's second downtown, they call it. The Domain is like as a walkable sort of place where they have bars and restaurants, upscale and basic shopping. I guess you can call it like very contemporary, somewhat pricey. And no, I don't live there. So I heard someone say if California and Texas had a baby, it would be the Domain. So there's a lot of commentary. I think gay guys we definitely got a comment on that, right? So if California and Texas had a baby, you call it the Domain. What do you think about that? So the Domain is a major player when it comes to jobs and entertainment for the North Austin area. It's like a brand new area. So like you got the big companies there, Amazon, VRBO is there, IBM, Meta, Charles Schwab, and they have a new stadium for the Austin FC Stadium. So they have, I guess it's for their first professional team stadium that they have in this area. So the Domain it's sort of a cross between, if you lived in Georgia, it's a cross between the Avalon Outdoor Mall in Alpharetta, Georgia. It's a cross between the Grove in West Los Angeles, without the farmers market. Or if you're like in Long Island, it's like the Americana Manhasset on the North Shore of Long Island. So it's kind of like it's definitely kind of contemporary for sure, but it's one of those places where it's kind of just good to be able to kind of go there, check it out. It's great for family entertainment too, especially if you have older kids. It's the kind of things that they want to do there, so it's really a hot spot for entertainment and for tech. I love this open road. This is unlike what we're going to be heading towards, where you can really just kind of free your mind and just relax. But being on these bicycles, these motorcycles, we have to be able to adapt to different situations. So as much as I love the open road and opening up my bike, you have to know that you are going into these densely populated areas where slow speed riding skills are definitely necessary, and you have to have those, as well as making sure you can have command of non-verbal skills. Now, we all have command of a couple of good verbal skills that if some idiot cuts us off, there's the old reliable. That's universally known. But there are some basic things, and it's all awareness that a lot of experienced bikers already know. I'm not preaching to the choir here, but it's just something just to kind of review and go through. So, but yeah, so I've had this bike for just a little while, and I'm just really putting some miles on it. Hey, man, I haven't even cracked 1,000 miles yet on this bike. So I really have to put some good road trips, under my belt, so I can really get some experience. Oh, I got this fellow rider coming up on my left. You see him on my 6 right now on my camera. So it's always good to see a fellow biker, even if he's not a Harley rider, just out there, living the dream like we are. And he threw him up, and I threw him up. So it's just good to see him out there. Wish him all the best. Be safe, brother. Just heading on out. So so thinking about a few rallies in the spring. Again, I'm in Texas, so the weather is just fine. So maybe Daytona might be one of the first ones. I'm still looking at a few that are happening out there, so I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, what are some of the places that you're going to this spring? What are you getting your bike ready for? Are you going solo, or are you going with your MC, or you have a few buddies that you're heading out with? What's the routine? Where do you go? Hey, and drop me. I'm a newbie for the state of Texas. I haven't been here a year yet, so I'm always open to understand what rallies are out there and things to consider. Places to go. People who ride. I'm always interested in heading out. Right now, I'm more of a weekend warrior, just in terms of getting out, because I work, like most of us do. I'm not retired, and yeah, man, I'm down, and I can plan for getting away for a weekend or so. But hey, or if the event's good enough, we just call in sick and just get out and do what we gotta do. Man, life is too short, man. Life is too short to stress over a lot of different things. It's one thing you're guaranteed, that there's one to a coffin. So you have to get out and live your life, no matter how many people love you, care for you. No one is in charge of your happiness but you. You have to get out there, and you have to be able to understand that, in order for you to be good enough for other people, you have to be okay with yourself first. So we all know bikes are the best therapy, man. I mean, they can be trying as hell sometimes, right, when it comes to repairs and stuff like that. But man, when you get on this thing, if you can't work it out on a bicycle, you got to sit down and talk to somebody. There's some professional help out there that you can get, that you can really kind of go that direction. But for me, I can get it done on twos. I can make it happen. Absolutely.
This record is intended to help protect your bank account without the use of measurements.
One thing I'm trying different is as I'm thinking about moving forward with this channel, is making sure that maybe one day I might try to be monetized. So I have to put some generic music in here. I can't be. I gotta watch out for these copyrights, right? I'm starting to learn and understand. It's like, you know what? It's not a free for all out there. There's rules to the game, so I gotta make sure that I adhere to those things, and I'm able to share a little bit about myself and what I do. Oh, so who am I, and what's up with me? Born and raised in Long Island, New York. I'm one of those guys that marries their high school sweethearts. Yeah, I'm a sticker. Didn't marry her right away though, but you know, one of those things where we went off to college, came back, we were always in touch, and so we got married after school, after college, and had 3 sons. They're all alive and well, God willing, and God thank you. And we've moved around a bit. So we started out at Long Island, raised the kids in New Jersey. 2 of the 3 finished high school in Georgia, and the 3rd one finished high school while the other 2 were in college in California. So then now we're in Texas. Yeah, they keep hiding the check, and we keep finding it. But right now we decided to sort of get off the train and just settle in. So we bought a home here in Texas, and got a few other things going on. But yeah, this is where we want to be. You know, all the work, even though it's sort of a down market right now for tech, but hey, all the tech jobs are coming here to Austin, Texas, or the surrounding areas. So we're closing in on the domain. I know it's not that far ahead, but this was an interesting trip. I think that I don't generally see a lot of people do riding in cities, especially with a bagger, right? I got a Road Glide CVO, and I haven't seen a lot of videos of people in the city, in traffic, sort of riding around. And you're like, yeah, what's the point, right? Why would you get a bike and go into a city to be in traffic? But there are a lot of people that do that because, hey, these motorcycles are their main form of transportation. So yeah, that's a daily thing for them. And I would love to see some of their videos. Hey, if you are one of those riders and you ride every day into work, slap a camera on your bike, man, and just let it. You don't have to give us any commentary. Just let's see what you deal with, and then drop it in the link. We're curious to see. Or if you have a channel. Oh, so here we are. All right, so I fast forward. We are actually in the domain right now. So stop and go traffic with these slow speed skills. So it's really sometimes, you don't want to duck walk, but you do take a couple of steps every now and then. And that's only in reaction to a lot of the vehicles moving around. So I'm supposed to be giving some commentary. I am not going to be pointing out all this luxury shopping and stuff, but I am shooting over the camera in post-production so you can see some of the stores around here. So we're in the domain right now. I'm not sure which street we're on, but you can get an understanding of the types of the density of traffic, 1 lane each way. It's one of those places where people are just they're shopping. It's a family type of place. Hey, it's very clean. Let me tell you, it's cleaner than Market Street in California, and a lot of places in New York where I grew up too. There's a lot of art in this area too. A lot of interesting things when it comes to artwork. So it's very clean. Again, contemporary, right? It's sort of like, again, I gotta say it again, if California and Texas had a baby, it would be this place called the Domain. So I'm curious to see the comments that people have once I've said that. But yeah, you can see, we got the strollers being pushed, and the people are getting out and doing their sort of thing. But one thing you have to be sort of when you're on these bikes and there's a lot of traffic like this, of course, head on swivel. But you have to be the quarterback. You have to really be the person who directs people. They see the motorcycle, they're looking at you. They're looking for some type of visual signal. So I give hand signals, eye contact, nods, head nods, all these things that give people an understanding of what you might do or what's to be expected. So then you do have those people that are totally oblivious to anything going on around them. Hey, and we deal with those as they come up. Look at the shopping here, though. Just some of these places, I haven't been to a lot of those, but you can get a real vibe. If you haven't been to the domain and you've kind of always wondered what's there, but you don't, this is a good video for you because I kind of go through. Oh, look at this ride right here, man. It's kind of fly. Yeah, but this is just a good chance to kind of eyeball what the domain looks like. So the smells of restaurants. That's a rooftop restaurant right there. I gotta go check that out. What's called? Is that the Wonder Bar? I gotta check on that and see what's up with it. See if it's a place that I would like. Parking is kind of tight, but it's decent because they do have like parking lots and stuff like that. But you see bikes parked pretty readily. They have like 1 hour limits on parking. In some places it's 15 minutes, in other places it's just pickup. So you do have a assortment of choices to be able to park. Where are we? Oh, they also like apartments and things here for those who are into that. So to each his own. Sandbox. This is where I took the kids. I had the video on us going to the sandbox. It's like the virtual reality place where you put on all the gear, and it's really fun, especially if you have kids that are like teens and older. My kids are like early 20s and late teens, and they enjoyed it thoroughly. So it's definitely something that if you got kids in that age bracket, that yeah, they'll dig it for sure. And here's one. You have to be the receiver. I have a brother biker over there giving me the hand signal, like, okay, it's good to go. So you may want to run that back. Yeah, non-verbal instructions. So it's not just being the quarterback; it's being a good receiver of signals being provided to you by other bikers and some riders as well. So I kind of looped around the back of all the stores, and then I just kind of giving another sort of walkthrough, sort of drive-through of this. Very nice. You hear music playing. I'm sure you can hear some of those things as I go, but it's fairly quiet. I think I was the only bagger that I saw in the area up here. The only person with a touring bike, which is not really too surprising, given that this is really like a shopping mall, right? It's like a walk-through shopping mall. But I think a lot of America is becoming a walk-through shopping mall. That's a topic for a different day. Oh, the Apple Store is coming up on the right. Everyone digs the Apple Store, right? And across the street on the right is like a little park area. Oh yeah, check this guy out, the unaware driver. He backs up. Now, what type of non-verbal hand signal should we give this guy? Put in the comments. Someone who's backing up, a few feet, I don't know, he's unaware of either he parked too close to the walking lane, so he's just unaware of his area. So what type of hand signal should we give someone who's backing up towards our bike? Yeah, put that in the comments. What type of non-verbal skills do we need for people like that? It's another little park area that they have here. And they got some nice spots to kind of like sit on the grass. A couple of good places for like small plates and some drinks. Now, I don't know, I could shop there, but these are places that. That's a nice bike right there. So again, it's shopper's heaven if you're into, this type of shopping. It's there for you. That's for sure. They got a lot of speed bumps in this area too that you can just ride around, but they're there. Be the quarterback. That's right. People are wondering, you got to give them commands. Yep, it's okay. Let's go. Don't want to spill your latte. All right, more commands. Be the quarterback. So, very important that we all are aware of those nonverbal skills. Yeah, this is the tech corridor, right? This is why this area is really thriving. It's because of all the companies that are in this area, right? We kind of ran through them before, but yeah, they're here. They got to double back and go check out some of those buildings again. And what you're seeing is not a lot of stoplights, right? Which is kind of like a good thing if people are paying attention and if you're very aware and your head is on a swivel. And so this is really a place where, it's more than just the slow speed riding skills. It's being able to think ahead and to be very observant. Now here's one. Two of us got into the cross section at the same time, and she's going and I'm going. So if you were to back this video up, it looked like both of us landed at the same time. So these non-verbal instructions are important. Now, I don't know if you can't even say time to the runner. Is that me? I'm not sure. So you can slowly rewind that. I did it a couple of times to see who actually got into the area first, to be able to stop first, to go first. So, but nonetheless, it's up to us to be sort of the quarterbacks and understand it's up to us to be able to sort of control the best we can. And all this, of course, is just to reduce the likelihood of any incidents or accidents happening. Just reduce the likelihood, because we can't control everyone all the time. And I have a perspective. When I was doing some of my training with Paul from, I think it was at Pro Riders, Central Texas, that I told him, hey, I've been riding now this is actually my 40th year. And the reason why I think that I've been fairly successful in riding is because I've lost all faith in humanity. I don't trust anybody to, especially when it comes to my safety. I don't trust anyone. I don't trust that the people are going to have the judgment that I wish that they would, or they're going to be paying attention all the time. So I kind of jest. I say that half-heartedly, right? I haven't lost all faith in humanity. But when it comes to riding a motorcycle and distractions that people have nowadays, and the I could care less attitude sometimes, for me, taking that posture and me being the quarterback, especially of what I do, the master of my fate, the captain of my soul, it just gives me a sense of confidence that, it's just like anything else, that, if you are, I guess, a sound person of sound mind, body, and spirit leaving the house, and you may even have a religious conviction, for those who believe thou shalt not steal. Well, I do that, but I make sure that I put myself in a position that if thou is trying to steal from me, thou is going to have a hard way to go. So, being the captain of your own ship, being the person who's quarterbacking, especially on your ride, to me, that's sort of like my default. So, again, I have not lost all faith in humanity. I just use that as the saying, just in terms of riding. As a matter of fact, I want to meet more humanity when I start riding. I'm new to Texas, and I want to meet up with some people. And I love a good beer. I love a good burger. Sorry, I'm not into vegan stuff, but I will put a good vegan meal on top of one of my burgers. Only kidding, no disrespect, just kidding. There's definitely a place for those who need to be able to watch what they eat, and it's not just sometimes a nice thing to do. Sometimes it's a requirement due to their health concerns. So I get it. Okay, so we're going past the Apple Store again, and to the left over there is that little park area that I was talking about. That has some nice eateries, bars in there, down there, and places with small plates. Speed bump over there. More shopping areas. There are so many different places to shop around here. Again, they have like Amazon is here, VRBO, IBM, Meta, Charles Schwab, a lot of different places. You can see the shops, Nordstrom's. They got a nice parking area over there too, near Nordstrom's, where public parking is like about 4 levels. Oh, my frat brother, I just saw, had the plates, had to throw up, non-verbal skills. My fraternity is Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I actually pledged back in college, of course, in Long Island, New York. I'm a life member. So yeah, it's not a bad place. Oh, like I was saying, I forgot to mention. Yeah, so in that area of Nordstrom's, that's where they have the Tesla charging on the 2nd level. So if you have a Tesla and you're looking for a supercharger station, it's right across the street opposite of the Nordstrom's. So you'll see some signs for parking. So when you go to Nordstrom's, instead of making sort of the right turn into Nordstrom's, you make that left to the other parking area. And it's right on that 2nd level on the right. Yeah, so in terms of really congestion, and it's not that bad here. I guess this is like a good warm-up for whenever I do go downtown Austin, which I'm going to take a trip down there. And my son has an apartment down there, so I may swing through and ride my bike and just to get a taste of that traffic. But also, everything is downtown Austin. Not everything, but there's some other things down there that I want to check out. Lady Bird Lake, I haven't been anywhere near that, or any of the places. I heard there's a bridge where there are bats that I haven't done any of those regular things. So, hey, if you're in the area, you're not really into doing those long trips, I'm down just to kind of, hit the areas anywhere from, from the Domain to downtown Austin to, hell, let's go check out the different dealerships, right? Catch them on the day in which they're throwing something up. My dealership is Central Texas Harley, right in Round Rock, and they're always having different events and stuff like that. Guys there are very friendly. The ladies there as well, who take care of all the merchandise. Guys in the back. And actually, I have a video. I did a tour of the Harley, Central Texas Harley, and definitely want to be able to share that with you guys. It was the guys were very helpful. Bobby there, who's in sales now, is kind of gave me the tour. I did a great job, so I'll be sharing that one with you in a couple of days. And it's funny how I don't even have like pipes on my bike yet. I mean, I got stock pipes. So look at this ride, so. Nice ride, but you got nothing on my Harleys. Anyway, I was saying I don't even have pipes yet on my bike, and I was still able to just get the attention of people in order to be able to communicate as I go. Just those nonverbal skills, making sure that they feel it's time to go or time not to go or time to walk. Police are in this area too. That's always makes you feel good, right? That they're around in a little vehicle, they can get around pretty quick. Nice place to park bikes right there. Definitely a place where a lot of families like to do their shopping and just walk around. Non-verbal skills. Yep, you're good to go, Dad. Got the whole crew with him. Distracted on her phone. I really didn't feel like parking and really going in any place at all. Just wanted to kind of drive through, keep it moving. You do get a lot of this though, a lot of waiting. Some Harley admirers right here.
Thank you.
It's funny how, you know what it is, guys, right? Ladies, when you ride these bikes, there's always some guy there that is just gonna get that hook in his mouth. They've either ridden before or they want to, and they see the bikes and they're like, I gotta do this. It's like, yeah. Yeah, I started riding back. Oh my God, like again, 83. Kawasaki, I think it was a 440 or 400. And, I'll throw up a few pictures one day so you guys can see those things. But back then, safety was, when you're young, you're not even thinking about. I didn't have a quarter of the equipment on that I have on today. I mean, I had on like tracks, not even regular sneakers, but track sneakers, right off of working out. I used to run track and play football, but and shorts, and we're talking about 80s shorts, right? You're talking about like the Showtime Lakers 80s shorts. So that's what we had on back then. Hey, it was a different time. Don't judge me. Yeah, I do deserve to be judged on that. It's like, yeah, didn't have to put them on. Marcus up ahead. I was thinking about just pulling in there and parking. Thought I can just pull in there and park and chill, or like, nah, I'm gonna keep it moving. There's Tiffany and Company's right there too. Yeah, so they definitely have this upscale shopping experience. Whether you like the window shop or just kind of ride through. I don't think I'll be riding my motorcycle through here again, though. It's not exactly a pleasure trip, but it is good to be able to exercise those slow speed riding skills. Also, it just keeps you so sharp and aware, making sure that you use those non-verbal skills to communicate in those densely populated areas with people walking around. So let's hit the highway and get out of here, man. Let's open it up a little bit. Well, it was nice checking out the domain in this way. I guess I don't know if it was the best thing taking a motorcycle there, but you know what? It's a real life experience. You have to be able to ride through. And again, I haven't been to any rallies yet, so I guess this is probably like what it is riding, I guess, to a rally, right? So you tell me. Or is it more congested at some of the rallies? Let's take Daytona, right? That's one everyone goes to. Is that some place where you will just ride your motorcycle around, or you just parking that thing and walking around? But there's nothing like hitting the highway, nothing like the open road. Being very aware. That person was very aware. You got to appreciate that, right? Well, definitely thank you guys for taking a ride with me today. Just going over a few things. Let's put those slow speed riding skills to a practical application. And this wasn't even any intense turning or anything. So, hey, we'll see you again coming up with another video. I'll try to keep some content coming from you that's a little bit different but interesting. And thanks for your time.